The first back we're going to look at this week is Alvin Kamara. Our proprietary projection system has him at 46 yards. The line this week is set at 55.5. So on that line, we are taking the under. Kamara came back for the first time this season after serving a 3-game suspension and rushed the ball 11 times for 51 yards. He kind of has a reputation as an all or nothing player. Last year he did carry the ball over 90 yards in 4 games, but he had another 7 games where he did not clear 50 yards. He figures to probably be shaking off a little rust yet coming into this week, so that is why we are taking the under. Next up, we are going to look at Run CMC, Christian McCaffrey. Our projection system has him at 96 yards. The line this week is set at 73.5, so on that line we are taking the over. McCaffrey is having an all-pro / MVP kind of season right now with the 49ers. He has only rushed for under 100 yards one time. That was in week 3 when he rushed for 85 yards. He has also cleared 100 yards in 6 of his last 9 games with the 49ers. They are playing the Cowboys this week, whose defense has been very good this year. But the Cowboys do give up 110 rushing yards per game, so they may struggle to stop Christian McCaffrey, and that is why this week we are taking the over. The next running back we're going to look at this week is Derrick Henry. Our projections show him at 92 yards. The line is set at 75.5, so on that we are taking the over. Henry has had kind of a slow start to the season. He finally eclipsed 100 yards for the first time last week. But this week they are facing off against the Indianapolis Colts, who have given up over 500 rushing yards through the first 4 weeks. With Derrick Henry starting to find his stride, this figures to be a really good game for him to continue to build on that, and that is why we are taking the over. Our next running back we are looking at is Isaiah Pacheco of the Chiefs. Our projections have him at 63 yards. The line this week is set at 57.5, so on that we are taking the over. Pacheco also eclipsed 100 yards for the first time this season last week. But Pacheco has kind of an interesting stat. That 60 to 70 yard range is kind of his bread and butter throughout his career. He has been in that range in 9 of his 21 career games with the Chiefs. But an interesting stat is that any game that he has touched the ball 10 or more times, he has had 58 or more yards, which does put him over what the line this week is set at. So if the Chiefs get him the touches, especially double-digit touches, should be an easy over, and that is why we are taking the over. And the last back we're going to look at this week is Joe Mixon of the Bengals. Our projections have him at 58 yards. The line this week is set at 68.5, so we are taking the under. Mixon is having a very slow start to the season. He's averaging just 62 rushing yards per game. But the Bengals as a whole have kind of struggled throughout the entire season. If you're a Joe Burrow fantasy owner, you really know that. But they are playing the Cardinals, who do give up over 100 rushing yards per game. But with how much they have struggled, they have shown that as long as you can pressure Joe Burrow, get guys in the backfield, that this Bengals team really struggles. So I expect that the Cardinals will probably fill the box as much as possible, try to bring a lot of pressure, and that will not fare well for Joe Mixon, especially running the ball on the ground. So that is why we are taking the under.